Hello there, boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Mending Munich. And we've got two games for you today and the Champions League draw for the next round, first knockout round of that competition. So what have we done since we last met? We've gone on a little bit of a run and extended our lead at the top. Freiburg was the first game after Hamburg, a disappointing 0-0 game against Hamburg, and yeah, we absolutely demolished them 7-3. What a game of football this was. We were really comfortable all the way through, but two late goals on the 80th and the 92nd minute made it a little bit squeaky, but Afalobi scored in the 93rd minute to make it 7-3. Absolutely awesome. Carlos Antonio with a hat-trick, and Fernando Augusto with his first goal for the club as well. Good to see those boys coming in and scoring some goals. Went their way to Kiev in the Champions League, and we beat them, which basically made us go through to the next round as group winners, which is good. Hopefully we get an easier draw in the first knockout round. Carlos Antonio and Afalobi again with the goals in the first half, wrapping up that game and playing really well yet again. A tricky home tie against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the league, and Foden got sent off on the hour mark. We were 1-0 up after 9 minutes with an own goal from Bissek, but yeah, that Phil Foden red card didn't help us at all really, but we did sneak a 1-0 win. And then we followed that up with another 1-0 win. Afalobi on the score sheet again against Cologne. All these games coming thick and fast. I think all these games came in the space of about 2 weeks. So 6 games in 2 weeks, or 5 games in 2 weeks. Tough on the old legs for the players, but Afalobi scoring a goal just before half time, and again another win away at FC Köln. And then we came back to Munich, another sending off. Callum Hudson-Odoi with the red card this time, just after the half-time break on the 53rd minute. And again, we snuck a 94th minute penalty, a 94th minute goal, sorry, from Tammy Abraham, coming off the bench and scoring a goal all the way through these games. Highly just making sure we had a fully fit side to go out and produce the goods, and to come out of that little run with only conceding 3 goals in those games and winning them all is a very impressive feat. If you have a look at the competitions, as I said, we are qualified to go through to the Champions League as group winners, and we'll give you the draw after the Bayern game today. And if you have a look at the Bundesliga, we are top of the table by 9 points. Dortmund losing their first game against Schalke, and they've also drawn a couple against Bayern and Leipzig, respectively. Leverkusen leapfrog Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. Leverkusen on a really good run of form at the minute, and Bayern just dropping down. 7-point gap between Bayern and Leipzig. So all in all, not a bad start to the season. We'll say we're relatively comfortable at the minute, but again, sneaking a couple of these wins with last minute goals or penalties and stuff like that. So we're not infallible at the minute. We are going to play a highly rotated side against this PSV side. We're already through, and it gives you a chance to see some of the lesser known players that you don't see every single week. So we've got Ludwig in goal, Hoover, Clayton, Strel and Kiate are the back line. Lenz and Quintana in the middle of their midfield. Calabria on the right, Algaya on the left, to Harvey in behind Fernando Augusto. Vincente, Strangle, Foden, McKennie, who's just come back from injury, so hopefully we'll give him some game time later on in the match. Afalobi, Oliver and Carlos Antonio. So people like Abraham, Hudson-Odoi, Martinez, Edemario and Sergio Rios all having a little bit of a break before that game against Bayern. Let's get into this one, see what we can do against PSV. Algaya on this left-hand side comes inside and finds Calabria on the other wing, and now Calabria's got a little bit of time and space to run into. Lovely ball to Fernando Augusto, and what a hit that is from the youngster. If it's on the volley, that's a great goal. Within the first minute, we go 1-0 up against PSV. Algaya starts to move, switches the play out to Calabria, and he's got a little bit of lots of space to run into. He finds a lovely ball to Fernando Augusto, and on the half volley, just bounced just before him, he smashed that one into the top left hand corner. 1-0 1860. Hoover picks up that loose ball, goes to Clayton, and Hoover plays it down the wing to Calabria, to Harvey, switches the play out to Algaya, coming inside himself. Can he go for a shot? He can, and it whistles over the bar, unfortunately for the youngster. Not to be for him, but plenty of time for him to get on the score sheet. Lenz now playmaking in the middle of midfield, goes back to Strel, and we have to go all the way back out to our goalkeeper Ludwig. Good kick to Kuyate. He's now down that left-hand side into Tahavi and back to Kuyate. Really comfortable on the ball, all of these Munich players. Calabria down that right-hand side again, cuts inside, but Fosu-Mensah tackles him. He breaks that tackle and has a great shot, but Unnestal pushes that over for a corner kick. It's all 1860. Lots of chances in this game. Calabria down that right-hand side, whips that ball in, but Fosu-Mensah is there. Lenz picks up the loose pass, a loose ball. Quintana down to Alguia, turns his man, goes back out to Dominic, out to Hoover again on this right-hand side. Can he get across in? He can. Alguia's at the back post. Alguia scores. Daniel Alguia, our young prospect from the youth setup. His first goal of the season. Great assist from Hoover as well on that right-hand side. Lenz finds the right back, just trickling forward. He then gets this ball really, really whipped in. Far post, and it's a great left-footed shot. Unnestal, no chance. 2-0 Munich. Calabria with the corner in. Now trying to find our guy at the near post. Falls back out to Clayton. Hoover deep in, just on the halfway line. Finds Lenz down that right-hand side. Can he get across him? No. Goes back to Hoover. 20 minutes on the clock. Lenz and Tahavi link up the two youngsters. Out to Alguia, another one of our youngsters. Loads of youngsters in this side. Biarte, can he get the ball in? No. Finds Quintana. Out to Lenz. He's got a good shot on him, but being closed down by two PSV players. Tahavi now. Out to Kayate, tries to get the cross in and it rebounds to Mulder. Now can he set a counter-attack on? Friday over the top, one-on-one with Ludwig, and Ludwig makes a great save and pushes it round for a corner. Half an hour gone and another chance for us. Alguia into Lenz, and he's always got that ball out to Hoover. He always wants to come forward the right back. Good ball in, but Dumfries gets the ball clear and Lenz gathers that ball back up. Quintana out again to Hoover, again always in space. Calabria, can he turn his man? No, goes back to the right back. Lenz, lovely ball. Quintana's got time and space. Ball to Alguia, and that is 3-0. But I think it's going to be ruled off for offside. Great move from 1860, but he went just a little bit too early. There we go. There's Alguia there, and he is just off. Not to be. Still 2-0. Calabria just into the second half. Finds our guy at the near post. Tahavi now. Can he go for a shot? He can. And that's literally a minute into the second half. And Sajid Tahavi puts us 3-0 into the lead. This is a second string 1860 Munich side against PSV. And we're taking them to the sword. And Tahavi just gets the ball out of his touch. And lovely finish from the youngster. 3-0 to 1860. Hoover throws the ball into Calabria, but looks like he's been brought down, and you're going to review the footage on VAR, but it did look like he was tugged or pulled back, and the referee's going to have a look at it. And the referee says it is a penalty. Calabria was fouled, and he's the one that is going to take it to put us 4-0 up and well and truly out of sight against PSV. And Unnestal, he goes down the middle. Unnestal stays up strong and he pushes it away. And lucky from Calabria, he can't add to his total this season. And there we have it. Full time whistle goes. A comfortable win for the reserve side, or the second string. Augusto with another goal to his name. Alguia and Tahavi all playing their part, and say another 3 points in our group stage. We're already through as group winners, and after the Bayern game, you'll see who will play in the first knockout round. Here we go then, second game of today's episode, the derby against Bayern. And not coming into this one full strength because a few injuries and suspensions happened in midweek. So Afalobi's out for about 3 weeks, so we won't see him until after the winter break. Pulled hamstring, so he's not available to play. Hudson-Odoi got sent off in the last game, so he's suspended for this match, and Phil Foden out for a few days, so he won't be back until the final game before the end of the winter break, or before the winter break, sorry. So this is the team that we're going in with. Radi in goals, Strangle, Strel, Vincente and Martinez are the back line. Edemario and Rios in the middle of midfield. Oliver on the right, Calabria on the left, Carlos Antonio in behind. Tammy Abraham, we're going to mix him up and go into a shadow striker role, his best position. On the bench, Hoover, Clayton, McKennie, Lenz, Tahavi, Alguia and Fernando Augusto. Let's see what we can do in this Munich derby. Corner. Oliver's going to take it, trying to find someone in the back post, and he does it. Goes all the way through to Tammy Abraham, and it's the easiest finish he's going to have this season. I think someone missed it out the front post for Bayern, and it went all the way through. Oliver chips it in. Yeah, someone at the front post missed it. It went all the way through to Tammy Abraham, and he's not going to miss from there. 1-0 after 5 minutes. 10 minutes to go before half time. Traore going down that right hand side, finds Kimmich into Diallo, and Ruddy saves, and Vicente just puts the ball behind for a corner kick. Good chance from Diallo on that from that left hand side. Barco whipping it in, and Edemario gets the ball clear, and Oliver completes that clearance. Abraham now, can he find a counter attacking option? Oliver cutting inside, finds Carlos Antonio. Can he find a ball through? He can. Oh, Calabria can't get onto it. It's a good tackle by Kimmich, and now they come on the counter-attack, but Edemario has gone straight through him, and he's just going to get a telling off. 2 minutes before half-time, Vicente being cornered, and he finds a ball out, but doesn't find a blue shirt. It's a poor header from Tar, and we latch onto it. Carlos Antonio, can he score another goal? It's a good save by Valters, and they pushes it around for a corner kick. On the hour mark, and first highlight in this second half. Vicente finds Calabria down that left-hand side, finds Carlos Antonio, always free in the middle. Lovely switch over to Oliver, trying to get that first time cross in, but rebounds back to Strangle into the back post, and Calabria can't turn it goalward. Oliver with a corner into the middle, and Abraham's there again, nearly putting his second goal in for the game. Kimmich now, after that Tammy Abraham chance, down to Traore, into Maya. We're pressing well down that right-hand side, and Cara over the top, but Strangle does well in cutting that ball out. Carlos Antonio nods that ball down to Tammy Abraham. Now Oliver's got the chance to run at the defence. Can he get a ball in this time? He can. Abraham's there. Abraham scores his second goal of the game from 6 yards out, his 11th goal of the season, and Jose Antonio Oliver is the man on a mission today to get us this win against our bitterest rivals. Runs down that right hand side, cuts out, and then chips a lovely ball into Tammy Abraham. Great finish. 2-0, 1860. Mario nips in there. Can he get a shot on goal and go for a third? And he does, but again, it's a poor shot down Vita's throat. And Algai has come on that left-hand side for Calabria. Edemario, can he switch? He can. Strel, lovely switch out to Oliver. Coming in on that right-hand side. Can he find a blue shot? Go for goal himself. And so, a hell of an effort, but good save again from the goalkeeper from Bayern. Vicente down the line to Algai. Holds off Kimmich, and he turns and finds Tammy up top. Out to Rios. Rios now got a lovely ball, lovely switch out to Oliver. Cuts inside himself into Carlos Antonio, and it's his 6th goal of the season. He's in a real purple patch of form, and a lovely finish from our young Brazilian attacker. And Rios with a lovely switch out to Oliver, cuts inside, he finds Carlos Antonio, and he just swings a left boot at it. Bottom left-hand corner, 3-0, 1860. Guy down that left-hand side, cuts back in to Rios. Always free, Rios and Carlos Antonio. Lovely ball through to Oliver, and he makes it 4 in injury time. What a hit that is from Jose Antonio Oliver. Deserves it for his play down that right-hand side today. And it's a lovely ball through from Rios. He just drives into that Bayern defence, and it's a lovely ball through to Oliver, and on the half volley, lovely finish into our top left-hand corner. Bayern 0, 1864. And there we have it. Full time whistle goes in the Munich derby, and we demolish Bayern. They did have some chances, but in the second half we just ripped them apart. Tammy Abraham with a brace, Carlos Antonio and Jose Antonio Oliver all with the goals, and he picks up the man of the match on a 9.4, a goal and 3 assists today for that right winger. Fantastic player that we've got on our hands there. But the episode isn't over just yet. We have to bring you the Champions League draw, and that'll be next. There we go then. Before we end today's episode, we're going to see who we get in the next round of the Champions League. And we're seeded because we went through as group winners, and the unseeded teams aren't an easy part. So we can't get any German side, so that rules out Leipzig, Hertha and Bayern. So we can get the likes of Atleti, Inter, Napoli, or we can't get Napoli, they're in our group. Atleti, Inter, Barca or Juve. It's going to be a tough draw. Let's draw next. Juve will play Lyon. Inter will play, we play Inter Milan. Not a bad draw to have. Inter, we have played them recently, past meetings. I think it was last season we played them. Yeah, it was. In the same round last season, we beat them 2-1 on aggregate, and I think our team's gotten better over the last 12 months, and hopefully we'll get through Inter again. That's it for today's episode. I'm not entirely sure when we're going to be back for the next episode. It might be back somewhere in January, just to give you a roundup of what's happening in the transfer window, or it might be at the start of February. Depending on how the transfer window goes, I'll decide when we will be back for the next episode. But that is it for today. If you have enjoyed it, please do drop it a like. If you are new around here and you're enjoying the series, hit that subscribe button and then follow it up with the bell icon so you're notified every time a video goes live. And until next time, when we bring you some games and possibly a transfer roundup, I'll see you soon.